Back in 2019, I made a video about the all-in-one rack, where I built a rack that would have everything that you would need to play a show. I built this rack with the intention of my band In Virtue using it on tour, and just a little while after we put out the video, the whole world shut down, and we never got to use it. Since then, the video has gotten like 500,000 views. People tell me that they've based their rack builds on it. So whatever happened to the rack? I'm gonna show you right now, come on. For the past 6 years, the rack has been living here under my kitchen island that I built specifically around it to house it, and I more or less have not opened it in all of that time. But if you can believe it, the In Virtue album, Age of Legends, is coming out this year, and we're gonna need the rack to play some shows. But now we're gonna pimp out the rack with some upgrades from our friends at Sennheiser, who are sponsoring this video. More on that later. Let's go. Touring has never been more expensive or difficult than it is now, when we need live music the most. I got the idea for the all-in-one rack because I wanted to take advantage of the amazing technology that's available these days to make it as feasible as possible for a band at a smaller level, like In Virtue, to be their own monitor engineer and to have reliable wireless gear without needing an engineering degree. If you're anything like me, you just want to be a musician when you get on stage and play, and not have to also worry about being an engineer. That's why we went with the Sennheiser EWD system, because as I'm going to show you, it makes connecting the wireless stuff a total breeze. And we're gonna be taking a slightly different approach from the first time around, taking some things out. We're gonna be replacing all of the wireless everything in this with Sennheiser EWD. And my more technologically inclined bandmate Alex, who is currently holding the camera, is going to be helping us out with it as well today. Hi, Alex.
Hey guys, Alex here. Okay, here's the plan. We're gonna replace all of the old wireless stuff with the new Sennheiser stuff, which is gonna be great because that stuff is way more powerful and way more user-friendly. Next, we're going to replace the Ultimate Ears sound tap. It was a very kind of quick and dirty way to get your drum monitor into the mixer. And we're gonna be keeping the HX Stomp for both guitars and bass. And we're also keeping the Cymatic LP16 for playback and MIDI control. Under that is the Seymour Duncan Power Stage. We're actually gonna be removing this. We're replacing the X32 with something a little newer and better. And we're also replacing the splitter with something that's much simpler as well. We're gonna keep the Furman Power Conditioner, and hopefully we're also gonna be able to keep this drawer. But it really depends on how much space we have to work with, because not only are we replacing things, we're actually adding quite a bit of stuff to this rack too, so we'll see how it goes.
These are the EWD units that Sennheiser sent us to put in, but before we do that, we gotta do the fun part and take everything out.
Oh shit. Dude, what are these screws you have?
Are you sure it's turning the right way?
No, it's not.
What kind of screws do you have? Well, stripped ones now. When you're on stage playing a show, you need two basic things: sound in your ears and sound in the audience's ears. And because it's 2025, we want that wirelessly. For our band In Virtue, that means 3 different types of wireless systems. We need wireless instrument stuff, we need wireless microphones, and we need wireless in-ears. You're gonna be Vanna White.
I'm Vanna White.
There are 5 musicians in Virtue, so we need 5 different wireless in-ear sets. What we're gonna do today is a full stereo fancy pants system. But, for example, if we're gonna build a fly rack and do it much more compact, we can get away with using just 2 systems, all mono, and then the drummer gets a wired in-ear. So if you're not too picky about stereo, you can get away with half of this. All the stuff we're gonna put in today is from Sennheiser. We've got 2 things from their EWD Evolution Wireless Digital System, and then we have the XSW for the in-ears. So let's crack them open, shall we?
We shall.
The whole idea here is that we're as self-contained as we can possibly get. You can use wired mics, you can use the house mics and patch them into your system. But since this is gonna be wireless, we don't have to do that at all.
The sound is always consistent and it's super quick and easy wherever we go. The cool thing with wireless instrument is that everything's already connected with the helix in the back of our mixer, all you have to do is connect your guitar to the wireless and you're good to go.
Boom. So we got 2 guitars and a bass, and those are the ones that we need these wireless for, so we have 3 of these. I have a pretty good understanding of what all of this stuff is and how it works. What is the rest of this stuff?
Ah, this is my favorite part. So these are combiners and splitters. And you might be asking yourself, why would I want to split something that I've just combined? They're for different products and different purposes. So we're going to use the combiners for the in-ear monitors. Essentially what that does is it, instead of having a different antenna with a different signal coming out for each individual unit, which in this case would be 5 units, you use a combiner. So you connect them all into one unit, which actually also powers them. And then you use an antenna, in this case, an active directional antenna. It's significantly more reliable. And if you have 2, as you might imagine, it's extremely reliable. The splitter is for the wireless instrument stuff. It actually technically also combines. I don't know why.
My God, a splitter that also combines?
Yeah, it actually technically also combines because you're putting everything into the splitter.
Let's open these so that we're not just showing them cardboard.
Oh. Here we have our half-wave Doppel antennas for the instrument wireless. They're not drumsticks.
They're not intended as drumsticks, but in a pinch,
Don't.
they'd be very expensive drumsticks.
Very expensive drumsticks.
So the overall purpose of the combiners and the splitters and all of the combining and splitting that you have to do is to make the whole thing much more reliable on stage,
It's
right?
significantly more reliable because you don't have 10 different units competing in different frequency ranges. It's all managed in here.
It's possible that for your rig, you will not need any combining and splitting. It's just that once you hit a certain number of wireless units in your rack, if you don't have it, you're gonna start to have problems. Boxes and boxes, combiners and splitters and all kinds of gear. Open your Christmas present. Punk's not dead, bro.
One of these directional antennas is for the in-ear monitors, and the other one is for the wireless instruments and microphones.
This is a lot of stuff. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed, just know that so am I. But we're doing the complicated part now to make the experience of actually playing the shows simple and way more fun. Once everything is connected and synced, we just have to do an incredibly quick frequency scan at each venue and then play. You're probably also thinking that this is all pretty expensive, but because it's Sennheiser's 80th anniversary, they're putting all the EWD wireless systems on sale and giving away 80 pairs of special 80th anniversary edition Ruby Red HD25 headphones. To be entered to win those, all you have to do is share your experience with Sennheiser wireless products. There's no purchase necessary at all. You can see the official webpage in the description for all the rules and details of that, and for where you can get EWD wireless gear for your rack. Now we gotta do the hard part, which is connecting all of these wires.
Okay, so we have everything connected. I'm going to explain how this all works now. Starting from the top, we have the XSW, 5 of them. These are the in-ear monitors. They all go into this antenna combiner, also by Sennheiser. And that gets connected into that directional antenna. Next, we have Sennheiser's EWD receivers, guitars and bass, and these 3 are gonna be for vocals. And for the microphones, we have the E35s, which are actually some of my favorite microphones. And for the wireless instrument, obviously they come with packs with 1/4 inches. So the way to think about this is the signal is gonna be leaving you from either your pack or your microphone, going into the splitters and getting split between the different units. And the way it does that in our case is also by another antenna. And the splitters are combined, and also the splitters power all these units. So for the instruments, for both guitars and bass, they are coming into these EWDs, and then those go into the HX Stomped, And from there, that goes into our wing mixer. And same with the vocal, except the vocal goes straight from the wireless to the wing. And also the monitor mix for each band member also comes from the wing, and that can be controlled through an app on their phone, wirelessly, and you can make your own mix how you like. So this is what the back looks like. Everything on stage goes in here, including the drums. And this right here is our digital splitter. So one cable goes out of the wing here, goes into the back of this guy, and this has 16 outputs. The only thing front of house has to worry about is getting their 16 outputs from the digital snake here. And
out of all the black spaghetti.
Yeah, and I know this looks messy right now, but you know, by the time we're done with it, it won't be.
So Alex just went home, which means that now is the perfect time to see if the village idiot can get all of this stuff connected, because if I can do it, you can do it. Lucky for both of us, there are tools to help with this. For example, the Sennheiser Smart Assist app. To me, knowing what frequencies are going to work best, in what places, and getting it all set up makes it seem like you need to bring a scientist along with you to every show. But you can leave your scientist at home now because they've been replaced with Sennheiser's Smart Assist app. First, I'm gonna connect the body pack for guitar. Okay, we're gonna add a device. It's giving me instructions. It says, press the sync button for 3 seconds. And just like that, it shows up in the app. It's connected by Bluetooth. I can color code it, we'll make it red. We're gonna call it TX-GTR. Add this device to my setup. Pair. Success. Tap next to scan for the best frequencies. Oh look, it says TX-GTR. Change the name right there. And you just hit scan. Wah, 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 wah. Each channel is automatically being set to the optimal frequency. Boom. Then it says pick the channel to which you want to add a transmitter. This is a transmitter. Thus, sync button pressed. I guess that's it. It just did it. That was easy. And as you can see, boom, signal acquired. I don't know about you, but this is how easy I personally need it to be. All right, let's do it for the next one. It's kind of fun. We're gonna make this one yellow, TX, Vox. Okay, auto scanning again, boom. That's the sync button, which I presume is this other one. And Bob's your uncle. Hello, is it me you're looking for? You'll notice that aside from syncing it the first time and pushing the sync button, I didn't actually have to touch anything on the front of this. You can, in a pinch, you can go through the menu and change everything like that, but I did everything on the app, all of it. So there you have it, the new incarnation of the all-in-one rack. I am extremely excited to get to try it out with the band and to get out and play some music. Please join the In Virtue mailing list in the description to find out when the album is going to be released and when we'll be coming to your city so that you can see us and the rack in action. Huge thanks to Sennheiser for helping us put together this insane rack and for sponsoring this video. There's gonna be a list in the description where you can find everything that we used as well as some diagrams if you're thinking about putting something like this together for yourself. Stay squishy and I'll see you on stage.